Okay, here we are. Welcome to another session of We Are One. Today, I'm your host, Alessandro Palma. We're delighted to have Majella Delaney with us as a presenter. Welcome, Majella.
Good evening, Ali. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. A big warm welcome from Ireland, wherever you are. I'm really happy to be here tonight on this Jin Shin Jyutsu We Are One webinar to share once more this wonderful art and practice self-help together.
It's really wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Majella is one of the newest Jin Shin Jyutsu instructors in our faculty, and we're so glad to have you here today with us.
Thank you. So today I thought I would talk about sadness and grief and how it affects our body's energy system. And I thought we would practice the self-help technique for relieving and harmonizing the effects of sadness and grief that Mary gives us in Self-Help Book 2. So before I continue to talk about it, let's begin our practice. So everybody sit quietly, sit upright, drop the shoulders, bow the head a little, and relieve any tension in the head and neck and shoulders. And let's begin by holding our left thumb. And you can hold it any way you like, as long, no gripping, no massaging, no rubbing. Whatever way is comfortable. You can hold it this way, or just wrap your fingers around it lovingly. And you can rest your hand on your lap. Now this sequence we can practice on both hands. We can go through all the fingers on the right hand and we can go through the finger sequence on the left hand. But tonight we're just going to practice it on our left hand. But at home in the future, if you wish to do this practice again, spend a little bit more time on each finger and maybe practice using both hands as well. So let's close our eyes, hold our thumb, and exhale. And over the past few months, many of us have lost loved ones to the coronavirus, or also we've lost loved ones from other illnesses and diseases. And it's been a difficult time because I know in my country, there's visiting restrictions. We're not able to spend time with our loved ones while they're sick, in their last days, even while they're passing from this life. And that's a source of grief for us. Importantly also, we're restricted on funerals and burial ceremonies. And having a funeral is very important for helping us go through this grieving process that we have to experience when we lose a loved one. We have our friends and family around us, and we're allowed to grieve openly, to let the grief go and process our way through it. So without the funeral and without the burial service, it's more difficult to cope, I think, with grief and sadness in these current times. So by practicing the following sequence that Mary gave us in Self-Help Book 2, we'll be able to help harmonize the effects of the grief and sadness that has accumulated over the past few months. And I'll explain how, by holding each of the fingers, what aspects spiritually, emotionally, physically that we're helping to dissolve and melt away. So while we're holding the thumb, exhale. And the thumb helps harmonize worry. But as my colleague Jennifer also noticed and spoke about last week, the thumb will also harmonize the what ifs, the if onlys in our thoughts. If only I could have spent more time at the hospital. If only I could have been there as my loved one passed away to help them through the process, the transition. Exhale and release all those what ifs, if onlys, right down to your toes. Inhale and receive the cosmic energy from toes to head. The thumb also helps harmonize our lung function energy. And as we know in Jin Shin Jyutsu, the lungs are one of the organs that are affected by sadness and grief. While we're grieving, while we're sad, our breath becomes shallow, uneven, erratic even. And we're not exhaling fully. We're not letting go. The breath is vital for our body. The lungs are the foundation of our energy. 70% of the toxins in our body are released through the exhalation. So it's important that our breath is even and harmonious, or these toxins can build up in the body and cause various illnesses and disharmonies. So as we hold our thumb, exhale down to your toes. Inhale, receive up from your toes to the top of your head. Feel your breath even, become more rhythmical, and maybe a little deeper. Just place your awareness on the breath. No trying to, no efforting, just loving awareness. Exhale, let go. Inhale, receive anew. Now let's hold our left index finger just comfortably. Place it on your lap. Exhale. The index finger helps harmonize our large intestine function energy, which is the other organ that's affected by sadness and grief. When we grieve, we're holding on, clinging on to the life we had with our loved one, clinging on to their memories, maybe even clinging on to possessions belonging to them. We're living our life as if they were still present. Afraid, the index finger harmonizes fear. We fear that if we move on with our life, maybe the memory of that loved one will diminish, and maybe our love for them will diminish. But exhale all that fear. Inhale and know that love is timeless. Love is eternal. And even though our memories of our loved ones may fade a little, the love we have for them will always remain in our heart. They will always, always be with us. And the depth of that love is the same regardless of whether we are happy or we are sad. In our physical body helps to eliminate all that we don't need from our digestive system. So it's the same on our mental, emotional level. Let go all that you don't require. Inhale and know that it's okay to move forward. It's okay to be happy again. Now, let's hold our middle finger of our left hand. Rest it on your lap. Exhale right down to your toes. Inhale up the back to the top of the head. Middle finger helps harmonize our lungs and our large intestines. So helping both of the organs, systems that are affected by sadness and grief. But the middle finger also helps our diaphragm function energy. And as we know, the diaphragm is the muscle of respiration. The lungs themselves are not muscular. They depend and rely on the diaphragm to contract and suck the air in, allowing the lungs to expand. And when the diaphragm relaxes, it pushes the air out of the lungs for exhalation. So harmonizing our diaphragm will help our breath to get more rhythmical, more even, and maybe a little deeper, helping the lungs and the effects of sadness and grief. Diaphragm function energy is part of 6 steps, our capital S source of life, the source of vital energy for our body. 6 steps is also our intuition, our inspiration, where we get our new ideas from. Maybe ideas of how we can move forward and not be dwelling and clinging onto the past. Move forward and be happier in our life. The middle finger is also related to third depth. And in Jin Shin Jyutsu, we learn that third depth is the bridge. It receives the source energy, the vital life energy, the inspiration, the ideas from 6th depth, and carries them into the body. The attitude related to third depth is anger and frustration. And often, as part of the grieving process, we experience a lot of anger and frustration. We're angry at the doctors. We're angry at ourselves. We're frustrated with ourselves. Maybe we could have done better. We could have looked after them. We could have spent more time with them, etc., etc. And this anger and frustration blocks our ability to receive from 6th depth. We get fatigued and we get stuck. So exhale all the anger and frustration you may have experienced. Let it go. Inhale and be aware of the positive aspect of third depth, which is expansion, growth, creativity. Inhale and receive those ideas and inspirations from 6th depth and create them, manifest them into a life that is happier for you. Exhale, let go. Inhale and receive your abundance. Lastly, we hold our left ring finger. Rest it gently on your lap. Hold it lovingly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down to the toes, down the front. Inhale from the toes to the head, up the back. The ring finger is also related to 6th depth umbilical function energy. Umbilicus energy, our mother energy, our nurturing energy, our comforting energy. And through sixth depth, this capital S source of life for all of us, we are connected. We are one. So right now, let's focus on sending some loving, comforting energy to each and every one of us who have lost loved ones over the past month. Let's send a virtual hug, a comforting, energetic hug. We may not be able to hug each other physically, but we can send this energetic hug to each and every one of us, and also to each and everyone in the world who is suffering sadness and grief from the loss of a loved one right now. So let's take a few exhalations and inhalations and focus on sending this energy out to everyone on the planet. Our ring finger, of course, is also the harmonizing finger for the attitude of sadness and grief. So let's exhale the grief and sadness. Feel the grief, experience it, and let it go all the way to your toes. And inhale gratitude. Gratitude for the time you spent with your loved ones on this earth, for the lessons they taught you, for the gifts they gave you, for the love you shared while they were here with you. Inhale gratitude, and as you feel it expand within you, also feel a sense of joy and happiness beginning within. So slowly open your eyes, come back to the room. Thank you everyone so much for being with me tonight, for allowing me to share this wonderful art. Stay safe, be happy. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Majella. And we will be back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. New York time for another practice and meditation. Just for you all to know, starting next Monday, we are going to have these meditations on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So the good news is that the teachers, the faculty came together and they will continue to offer these meditations for more time.
Wonderful.
Just an adjustment of the schedule. Starting Monday, we'll be together here, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And of course, you can continue to watch all the videos and practice together, going to YouTube and enjoying the content that we have created for you. Majella, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ali.
for
Thank you so
being
much.
here with us. Stay well, and until next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless.